There's been some talk about possibly Joshua using Jake Paul as a tune-up to fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
But Anthony, listen to me. Don't take a dive with this Jake Paul, mate. Do not do that. Not for $1 billion, my pal. Don't do it. Don't do as the others have done. Do not take dives. If he fights, you knock him dead as a nit, and good luck with it.
Tyson says he's going to bet £1 million on Jake Paul knocking out Joshua.
This is what I'm saying.
It's not even about it being realistic or not. Like, it's gonna happen. So fasten your seatbelts or whatever. And when I knock him out.
Jake Paul, who rose to fame online before stepping into the boxing ring, is now making headlines again, this time by challenging heavyweight star Anthony Joshua after beating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Reports say Saudi boxing figure Turki Al-Sheikh is supporting the idea, giving it more attention. However, most boxing experts aren't on board. They believe the size and experience gap between Paul and Joshua is too big, and many question whether this kind of match should even be considered part of serious professional boxing.
Paul has reached out to Anthony Joshua a few times. I've spoken to Nikisa, Jake's manager. It's never a fight we anticipated. It's never a fight we've targeted. But if you want Jake Paul to be the warm-up fight, and obviously financially it's a great opportunity for AJ, and you want to provide AJ and probably in turn Matchroom with the opportunity to extinguish Jake Paul from the world of boxing, then maybe AJ will oblige.
Jake Paul, you've lost your mind if you think you can go toe to toe with Anthony Joshua. Listen, let's not get confused, guys. Let's not get confused. Yes, cool. Anthony, he took a big L with Daniel Dubois. But Daniel Dubois is not no joke, bro. It's not a joke. You know what I'm trying to say? He took a L there, but Jake Paul, I got the utmost respect of what he's done, how he's managed to navigate through the boxing world. Like, bro, it's so mad. And I can see this is like a 90%. It's happening, it's positioning, it's marketing already. Like, why would you see Jake Paul go face to face with Alexander Usyk if it's not to position for a fight for Saudi? Obviously, Jake Paul's gonna fight Anthony Joshua. There's possibly gonna be a Usyk against Tyson Fury 3, because obviously the last two were so close. But you never know. It can also be a Usyk against Derek Chisora. Do you know what I mean? You never know.
After beating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Jake Paul announced that a fight with Anthony Joshua could happen as soon as next year. Speaking confidently, he said, "I want to fight Anthony Joshua. I know I can beat him. He doesn't have a strong chin. He's too stiff."
That's the criticism. Fight someone in their prime who's a beast. I think people just want to see me lose. That's really what the message is behind it all. And Anthony Joshua is an insane fight, but I want that challenge. We've been DMing back and forth. He wants to make it happen. He called me up, and it's looking very likely for next year.
Jake Paul celebrated his win as a sign of how far he's come and made it clear he's ready for a big challenge, even though he's not a full heavyweight. He pointed to Deontay Wilder's success at lighter weights as proof it's possible and said he's willing to take the risk. Talks involving Saudi boxing official Turki Al-Sheikh and promoter Eddie Hearn suggest the fight is gaining traction. Even Anthony Joshua has shown interest, if Jake is truly serious this time.
But if that doesn't materialize, I know the Tommy Fury name has been floated about. Is there any other fighters who may not be world champions that you're looking to face?
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Joshua.
I think that's the main one that, we've talked a lot about, is if it's not for the title, it's looking at Tommy, if he's reasonable, and then Anthony Joshua. And he's adamant that he wants to make that fight happen at the end of 2026.
Anything's possible. And so I like the challenge. People, that's the criticism. Fight someone in their prime who's a beast. I think people just want to see me lose. That's really what the message is behind it all. And Anthony Joshua is an insane fight, but I want that challenge. We've been DMing back and forth. He wants to make it happen. He called me up, and it's looking very likely for next year.
Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua's promoter, admitted that a fight between Jake Paul and Joshua would definitely grab attention. But he also warned Paul to tread carefully. Hearn called Paul bold, maybe even crazy, for chasing a matchup with someone as dangerous as Joshua. He made it clear that while the payday could be massive for both, the risk is just as big. According to Hearn, putting someone with Paul's limited experience in the ring with a proven heavyweight like Joshua could be a disastrous mismatch, one that might seriously damage Paul's career.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua 50-50 fight, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I just said in another interview, great if it is. I mean, if it is, then you've got no problem seeing it. But when AJ, I mean, decapitate's a strong word, but you know, when he renders Jake Paul unconscious like he did to Francis Ngannou, don't then say, oh well, it was Jake Paul. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when AJ beat Francis Ngannou, Ngannou just had a fight that could have gone either way with Tyson Fury. Then AJ poleaxed him and everyone just said he's just an MMA fighter. Do you know what I mean? Jake Paul's not Francis Ngannou. But as I said before, if you want to see Jake Paul exit the boxing world, make the fight.
Eddie Hearn has admitted that Jake Paul's approach, calling out big-name boxers for big paydays, is smart from a business standpoint. Adding to the buzz, boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. shared his own thoughts, but with a note of caution. He said that while a fight between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua could happen if Joshua agreed, it needs to make sense both competitively and financially. Jones emphasized that Joshua is a serious former world champion and warned that fans shouldn't expect miracles. "Did you see what Joshua did to Francis Ngannou?" he said. "The same thing would happen to Jake Paul. If you really believe someone who isn't a full-time boxer can beat Joshua, that's just crazy."
I want to change subjects just a little bit here. And Anthony Joshua, there's rumours circulating he could be fighting Jake Paul next. One, do you think it's good for boxing? And two, do you think the fight will happen?
I think it's great for boxing. I think the fight will happen. AJ is 1-0 against these guys that come in to these boxing careers late. So why not? He's a perfect guy to take him out too. He took Ngannou out. Why would he not take Jake Paul out? And for him, he'd probably make more money fighting Jake Paul than he will fight anybody else that he can fight right now. So why would he not do it? I mean, not that he needs the money right now anyway, but if he's going to do something, if he want to get a good win to put him back on the scene, that's a perfect win. You get a lot of money doing it.
Dave Farrar and Spencer Oliver recently weighed in on the growing buzz around a potential Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul showdown. The conversation gained serious traction after Saudi boxing chief Turki Al-Sheikh appeared on TalkSport at Wembley and hinted he would approve the fight. According to Al-Sheikh, Jake Paul has already agreed in principle and is eager to move forward. Al-Sheikh went further, saying he wants Joshua to completely dominate Paul in what he described as a 99-1 mismatch, framing it as a win-win that would test the credibility of both fighters in very different ways.
From all of that common sense, we talk about this. We talk about the potential of Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul getting it on. He's some promoter, Jake Paul, of himself and of others too. But let's talk about the potential. Could you see this happening?
Do you know what? I think I could. Do you know why? I'll tell you why I can. Firstly, let me just say about Jake Paul. Look, he's been nothing but good for the sport. Forget what people think about him in the ring and, you know, what he's doing in the ring. He's been incredible for women's boxing. Insane for women's boxing. He's really brought it to the forefront, you know, with what he's done with Amanda Serrano and now signing up all these other girls that we've got, Chantel Cameron and all the rest of the girls that he's signing up. Brilliant news. Like, that's fantastic for women's sport, women's boxing. But he's also bringing eyeballs to boxing as well, because he has a huge audience, and with what he's doing now, you're getting these, you know, the younger generation that had no interest in boxing at all, now starting to watch it. So he's transforming so many people. You have to respect that. You know, what he's doing as a promoter, he's doing brilliantly. Now he's calling out Anthony Joshua. Is it real? Does he really want the smoke? I mean, he's got to be an idiot if he does, because Anthony Joshua, let's use this as a comparison. Francis Ngannou called Anthony Joshua out after pushing Tyson Fury the way that he did, and you looked at that and he went in there and he iced him in 2 rounds. Francis Ngannou versus Jake Paul, you got to go heavily on Francis Ngannou, haven't you? So what's going to happen to poor Jake Paul if he boxes Anthony Joshua, this Olympic gold medalist, 2-time world champion?
However, many experienced figures in the boxing world have strongly rejected the idea of Jake Paul getting a WBC ranking. Veteran heavyweight Derek Chisora was especially vocal, calling it a clear insult to the sport. Chisora argued that true boxers spend years fighting their way up the rankings, while Paul is skipping the line by relying on his celebrity status and facing fighters who are either unranked or past their prime. He directly criticized WBC President Mauricio Suleiman, accusing him of prioritizing money and attention over the sport's integrity. Chisora said handing out rankings this way is simply unfair and damages boxing's credibility. He insisted that rankings should be earned through hard work and real competition, not social media fame.
ranking to the winner of this fight. Do you think they deserve one?
No, I don't think so. I don't know why. It's hard enough for real athletes, for real boxers, to gain those rankings, and then suddenly this Solomon Souza decides to give double ranking because he's getting some greens in his, in his back pocket. No, that is disgrace to boxing.